Okay, we're back. So she's very good work here. Tagging, good. Good, okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. Excellent, Quellar. Look, my advice is you need to draw more. And you need to be drawing like bar drawings and solid drawings, because what's lacking in there is your drawing, your painting technique. Like, you have that, and you're going to improve on that, but you need to draw. The problems you're having, you're trying to create an effect, and I think you're loosely, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're loosely trying to follow an academic approach, but it's loose. You need more structure in your work, and you can still put that level of expression in via the brushwork, but it's the drawing where you're having a problem with. That's it. And you'll continue getting better with paint, and you can continue practicing, and that's very easily correctable. Like, it's very easy to correct, and if something's built up too much, just simply scrape it down and repaint over it. If the shadows are losing their transparency, scrape those down, sand it down if you need to, then brush it off with a dry brush, make sure the sand's gone, and then paint into it. But looking at your work, I would say do bark drawings and practice in pencil and charcoal, and work on drawings that really push you and force you to work on them for a very long period of time. And that's how you're going to improve your work. That would be my best advice. But in no way is that painting lost. And I've worked on stuff for 5 years before, man. Long time. So I know how that is, and it can be frustrating when it's not working how it is. And sometimes you just need to let go and start over and stop trying to correct. But you might have to, depending, some areas you might just have to scrap completely and just squint down and repaint it in the vision that you want. Does that make sense? And can y'all hear me okay? I think you can. I think you can hear. Yeah, you can hear me. Why does it suck? You tell me why it sucks. Break it down. Technically, why does this suck? Or artistically, why does this suck? What makes it suck to you? I want to hear it. It doesn't look frozen on mine, Rob. All right, you answer that for me, Quellar. And okay, it sucks to work on something so long and then the proportions are all wonky. Yeah, it does. But you see it, though. You see it. And you can do something about that. Right? You can do something about that. I'm bringing that out some. This needs to go out some a little bit. Laura. Quellar, you need to get better at drawing, right? And you need a solid regiment. You need to figure out how you want to be able to draw and paint, and then figure out what it's going to take to do that, and then stick to that. The reason why I do drawing in my streams is just as much for you as it is for me, because it helps me in my painting. I'm correcting things right now because my drawing is weak, right? My drawing is weak, and so that's why I'm correcting. Good. Well, then you're working about the right way. I know, man. It's frustrating. I'm doing good, Laura. Quildar's having a hard time with this painting. Don't stop doing that, man. It's just you need to get better at it. And it's like, you know, you gotta lift your art weights, which is drawing, right? You have to do that stuff. You have to keep in practice. I was doing, look what I did yesterday. I did an exercise, and I'm making this into a video, but since you guys watch, I'll show you this. This is pretty sweet. It might look a little bit blurry. I'll try to get it as close as I can, but I can't touch this, obviously. Well, y'all can't really see. You kind of can. I don't want to get too close, but see, these are block-ins. Those are block-ins, 3 faces that I did. Each one, I did them relatively quickly. And I did them relatively fast because I need practice drawing. It helps my hand and everything. It helps my mind. It gets my head back in the game. Your like basic proportions are in the ballpark, but they're not great. Your subtlety isn't great right now, not yet. And this isn't me putting you down. This is practical. I know you can take this. Hardy, that's right, man. And so if I was training you, which kind of in a way I am, but if you were here right now, I'd be like, we're gonna get your drawing skills up so that when you paint, painting's hard enough. That's what I'm doing right now. What am I doing? I'm correcting these shapes right here. These shapes need to be correct, right? You know, technique, I don't want to undermine it, is almost secondary to this, right? We need to, so like essentially with this drawing mistake, right? This was a little bit crunch considering where this was. Or I could have done that, but I think it's easier to bring that out because this right here is still very basic. I haven't really worked that up. Whoa. Goose Baby. That's awesome. So he did like a lot of the portraits. He did like 50 portraits. That's insane. That's so cool. Seinfeld, man. I'm watching a lot of that right now. But because Quildar, like, you're the same age as I am. But you, like, if you put yourself to it, you actually can learn this really, really, really quick. If you put yourself to it, right? And you're kind of doing that. You really, you get into these paintings and you have a painting class, and you do a good job with your work. And I think, again, it's not as much the painting as it is your drawing's just not there, man. But like, I know you know how to get it there, and I'll help you get it there. Like, Landscape City guy, Goose, can we see your work? We have a Discord. Are you in our Discord? You should be, especially if you paint. I really want to see your work because we have some like really cool stuff in there. Color tag in, for example, like he's doing the drawing and all that stuff, right? And it specifically wants academic, but and I know you're like, and you understand this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying. I don't feel like I need to tell you. No, it's true. I've been neglecting my portrait practice. I was actually better at it. It's not just portraits, though. But obviously that will help. The more portraits you do, the better. And look, portraits, it's one of those crazy things. It's like if one little thing is off, the whole face just looks weird, especially depending on what it is, but yeah. You know what I'm saying. I don't think I need to reiterate or get too in depth with what I'm saying with this, but I think you get it. But yeah, that's like for you, that's what I would improve by. Let's see if this isn't going to work. Actually, I might if I use green. Zex! Zex! Is Zex there? Zex. Yeah. Architecture, Goose Baby? What's wrong with that name, by the way? Send you a link, your new. Right down below, like in Twitch, there should be a link to Discord. And hopefully that, if that doesn't work, let me know and I'll get a new link for you. Or any one of my YouTube videos that it has the link below them, especially the more recent ones. Or we have competent people like Queldar who post, which thank you, Queldar, I appreciate that. We need to like another screen. Zix, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. The link is next to me. Love the ballerina figure studies, Queller. You're really good at them, and your use of light and shadow, I think, can improve on our drawing and observation skills. Oh, cool. Goose Baby, I'm not somebody who's going to tear you to pieces unless you ask me to. I do some interesting roast videos where I literally destroy people's work. In watercolor for like a year too difficult for me. Oil is a lot better for me. Let's see that. Yeah. Anyway. Queller, you got it. I really think that you can do this stuff. It's just, you can't be lazy with your drawing. You got to get that stuff done. And again, like, I mean, I know how to draw, but I need a lot of practice with it, and you can lose it. And I used to be even better than I am with drawing, especially studying at the, at the academy and such. And you know, like I knew solidly, oh, I just need to do A, B, C, D, and I know what to do now, but it's like, and it's getting better especially since I've been streaming and been with you guys, because it's forcing me to do these things. Let's start working some warms and cools in here, but I feel like I used to have a more solid, it was more fluid with my work before. Maybe that's kind of how I simply remember it, and maybe that's not entirely true, but my point is that you know, everybody needs practice, right? Everybody needs to have some practice with their work, and but you need to learn how to do that drawing. And again, I'm not just saying this because it's how I was taught. Well, maybe partially so, but I know it's a proven path. And bark drawings, they can be incredibly boring, but they're so beneficial. Yeah, Quellar should be making videos. I always encourage people to. Good thing. I've not seen Quellar Berliners, I don't think. Go full J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. What a good movie Whiplash was. I don't think I've seen that, have I? Good thing about homeschool is that I can do my work and watch stuff. Like this is, in the meantime, that is actually really cool, especially if it's a good homeschooling experience, which it does exist. I used to think homeschooling because my cousins did it and wasn't such a fan, but then I lived in Georgia for a time. They had a large homeschool community, and it was like, these are like the most well-rounded and down-to-earth kids I've ever been around. Did barred courses, yeah. Is there any way to make this bigger? There, that's better. Now it's bigger. There we go. I like Impressionism, yes. Take this brush. This was going to be my dark, but actually I'm going to keep that as the dark. It's light. This will work as the light. Yeah, do that. Then in between. Saturate. There we go. Monet, love Monet. Don't worry about typos. I'm gonna try Impressionism one day. It's just my regular YouTube, Rob. It's not a special channel name or anything. Yeah, you'll get it, Rob. You're gonna get it, man. You keep practicing. A lot of it. The thing is that it's not about how good you are. It's the direction you're going, right? You need to have that, the right attitude with your work, because there are a lot of people who are very good painters, perhaps, or especially when you start, right? Somebody when you start, it's very apparent, like who has talent in the very beginning. But when you get trained, the people with talent, sometimes if they rest in that talent and say, "Screw it, I'm just going to do what I feel comfortable doing," they won't go as far as the people who suck at first, but listen to the teachings that are correct teachings. And I saw that, like a lot of those people who weren't that great the first year, second year of the school, were leaps and bounds ahead of the people who were originally better than them, because the people who weren't good actually listen to the teaching, because what other choice did they have? They didn't have, anything to fall back on, right? Fall back. This and this. Do a quick tip learning as something called just very quick strokes on the canvas with a flat brush. I can draw where I can tell what I'm going to paint, and others can tell what it is. I hope you try it out. I would recommend doing lenses first. They seem to be easiest. It's a great way to acclimate yourself to painting, I can tell you that much. In fact, was I landscape painting before I was doing regular painting? I don't remember. This is Lost Ark soundtrack. I want to see. Actually, let me see something. Goose, nice. I see your work. Good, and you just started, and you're being homeschooled too, so you're young. This is good. This is probably, in fact, better than I could do at your age. I'm guessing. Okay. Be the painting. Gotta be the painting. Focus. Okay. Everything I do at this point is about drawing, right? Could we go through and polish it up? Yeah, I could do that. Polish it up, but I'm not going to yet. Because I'm not going to spend time polishing. Right? I don't want to spend time polishing, and then if I'm polishing, it's in the wrong place, then what the heck? I mean, what am I going to do? It's wrong. I wasted my time. Done it before. How do I know this? I've done it before, like I said. It's not like, you make mistakes. In Queldar, you're going to pull that painting together that you're, a little bit disappointed with right now. You're going to pull that together, and you're going to remember how you pulled it together. But you're going to have to technically break down what it is, because it's technical problems you're having. It's not a will to paint. It's not artistic. It's not a lack of being artistic, or even, in my opinion, the composition's fine. It's technical issues that you're having. Now, things you have to practice are weird. Like anything you do that doesn't come natural, that you need practice, is weird, because you need to take things that are hard for you to do and make them not hard to do. It's things that aren't natural for the average person to become natural, and that requires time and practice and really continuing to do it. You can't stop doing what you're doing. So this is the light brush, because screw that. It's hard, and it's a mind game, because all the while you're thinking, I suck, I suck, I suck, I suck, I suck. Especially if you have classmates you're comparing to, and they're all better than you. And I've always been smarter than everybody that I'm around because of my big brain, so I don't know how that feels, but I've heard through lesser beings that is an issue. I'm compassionate, so I listen to these idiots. This is fancy, doing cityscapes in impressionist style and landscapes in the academic style. I don't know why I'm that way. Personally, never been a fan of those ultra-realistic paintings, me neither. Though there is a lot of skill in them, especially when people are painting pores, but I don't really like them. Very impressionist, but I just can't help but think, take a photo at the point you know. Good video on history of art movements. It's like 20 minutes. You can post that too in Discord. We have a section for that. I think it's useful information. So feel free to post in the Discord videos. Cool. Goose baby. Zerx, if you're listening, I got your text, by the way. It's hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't want to make it like too bright in some areas, which I could do. I did that in one of the portraits, and that was because like the photograph, I hate saying photograph for this stuff, but it's the truth. The photograph was not great. It's too washed out. I don't like that, what I just did. Bring it back down just a little bit. Let's do this. General, my bad. It doesn't matter where you put it. Told my username is very fun to say, but I'm considering changing it to GooseCon. I'm gonna have fun saying it either way. Goose baby. In my mind, it is ultra realistic. It must be something unreal, fantastical, not just something that you could say, it's a photograph. No wiser words have ever been spoken. It's a video in the wrong last week too. That's why we kicked you, Rob. It's because you posted in the wrong area. I think hyper-realistic is super cool if the subject is not boring. She'll show up when she's needed. She has this like innate sense that she needs to, when she comes, you know, she's the destroyer of people's happiness and what have you. So she'll appear. I'm sure she will. What did I just mix? Oh yeah, I didn't like what I just did. So I'm gonna do this. Immediately realized that was a really dumb idea. I'm gonna go back to my lighter brush and just darken it slightly and paint over it. So I'm working with Indian red and yellow ochre as the coloring agents, if you will. Yes. So. Goose baby. Back to that. Laura, if I can, do you want to try to do the double stream again on Friday? I don't know if I'll be doing it, but is that a possibility for you? Might be too light. I'll let that sit for a second. I hear you. Anime. I mean, It's the style. It's fun. I like that, the ideas behind it. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Dun, 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 dun. Goose baby. Just, if you work as an artist, just get out every once in a while, because otherwise you just, it's not good. It's not good. Anime is fun, man. I think it's becoming more for like adults as well. Maybe that's how it started, I don't know. Nope. That's not it. Wait. Yes, that is it. It's the color I wanted. I'm less articulate today than I was yesterday. I think my brain is on cooldown. So you'll just watch me paint and just be really cool in general. I had a lot of friends in high school. Always very popular. I never really had to try. Turned down a lot of modeling opportunities. Very charismatic. I'm just going to be myself, which is very charming. Obviously entertaining without really having to say anything. Completely humble. I'm just going to be speaking probably a little bit less about painting unless you'll ask me to, because I have an abundance of knowledge that I've always had without really giving any effort because I'm so gifted. All right, so just I'm putting that out there. Take you know, whatever you want from that. Anime is cool. Sixteen Chapel is beautiful, man. I could stand there all day. The Sixteen Chapel? I like that. I never read that before. It's cool. Precision painting. I can at least, I'll show my mixing. Here's what I'm doing. I got different brushes, right? Different brushes for different values. I've gotten a little bit more specific today for it, which is kind of cool. There we go. Took some of that, took a little bit of that, got the value, and then you get the color. Okay? Okay? Right. Okay, wait, it drops down too far. I need to bring the cheek area up just a little bit. So I take that value right there. I'm going to bring this up some. So I'm going to take my lighter brush next to it and work within this value range here. Then I have a lighter brush here that gets less sullied. So don't put this in your mouth. It's stupid. I never do. Yeah, so we get the value, and then we go through and we get the color. A little bit of Indian. I didn't get any. little bit of Indian red, a touch of orange. Scoop it onto the brush. Squint. Step back. Squint. Drawing. Drawing, Queldar. This comes up just a little bit. Flip the brush so I know it's clean. So you need to have the little transition, right? Because now that's a little sharp. She has a crease in her face. I'm doing the same thing, mixing that same value. Squint. Hold the brush like this to make it look like I know what I'm doing. And then just puff. That's fine. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the next brush, which this is the one I was using. I'm going to take this brush and do a transition value up and try to make it a separate brush stroke. I'm going to try not to blend it, so I'm going to kind of wipe it off a little bit here. It was this. I'm going to take an in between these two right there. This is how I get my mixing. So that's what I need to connect this to this. I'm going to look. Let's try a cool transition. Which this transition actually might work, but cool. And I blew it out a little bit, which essentially brought it down to that. And so I'm going to add just a little bit here. Maybe a little bit more color. Let's try this. That's how I get my values. Squint. Drawing comes into play now. And slowly paint. That's too light. So I'm going to go in. Maybe this value was correct. Let's go into this. This is the value right here. Let's do this and let's add a little bit of blue. We'll paint over what we did. So let me start down here. That's actually what I want. Wait, is it? I know why. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I'm going to bring this. Actually, this is over here. There, that's the transition there. And then I need to see that, soften that, and I'm going to make a darker one because I'm being an idiot. I'll tell you why. Because I mix this transitional value here and then put it next to that dark value, which obviously is not going to work because that's a darker value. We're going to go with the darker brush. We're going to do the same thing. Darker brush, blue. I'm making it a little bit cooler. Squint. We're going to come in from this side. If you press in with the tip, you can push the paint that way. I know it's darkening the camera, but screw it. One stroke. It's soft, but now there's a little like point, which I'm going to expertly get rid of with one expertly placed brush stroke. Okay, a second, and then I'll read what you guys are talking about, so I'm not in the dark. I need to make sure y'all aren't talking poorly about. You're not making fun of Queldar's low IQ. Let me see what I'm talking about here. Characterize. If I could characterize Lewis in one word, humble. Yes. When did you start to lift, Lewis? I don't lift weights. I naturally, I just have so much testosterone that my muscles grow as I'm watching anime. Because that's what cool people do. I only just found out the beams between the panels of the Sistine Chapel, it's the Sixtine Chapel, not Sistine. Idiot. Thought they were real. Yeah, they painted that stuff. I think Vasari? Giorgio Vasari in his school, I think. Maybe? Was it Vasari? I used to know this stuff. Pillars are very much real, if that's what you're talking about, but I think you're talking about different things. Yeah, they're paintings on the wall, And they're painted so real that they look real. All right, Goose Baby. Goose Baby left, but bye, Goose. Bye, Goose Baby. It's the Sistine Chapel, not Sistine. Nurturing, yes, nurturing. Yes. Noble. I can give some of these words noble. Definitely caring. Strategic. Prudent. Just all around wholesome, I think. Calm, collected, very couth, even-tempered, very extremely characteristically patient. Son of a bitch, that's not what I want. What else? I could go on. But I'm not because that's, I don't really need to. Intelligent. Let's just put these brush strokes down and see where they take us, okay? Should I paint like the biggest... You know what? I'm trying to clean my language up. I was going to say biggest pussy in the world, but I'm not going to say pussy, okay? Let me think of another word to say. Weekly. That's stupid. Lagorhake. Bless you. Let's see, what else? What else? Let's put that eye down. So that eye is really creeping me out right now. Graceful. What else? That's wrong. Wait. Yes, that's wrong. But I'm still going to go with it because I am above mixing the right colors. Oh, that looks horrible. Maybe I should have done it right. I had the brush here. I just didn't want to put paint on it. E2 Quildar. I had to Google that one. Let's say verbose. Are you calling me fat? Heroic. Badass, sexy. Search, are you there? I would say logoric because it sounds like verbal diarrhea, which is what Lewis's desertion reminded me of. You bitch. How do I put up with you idiots? You know what? I'm going to be above you. Both of you. I'm going to not let that bother me. I'm going to continue making a masterpiece. This. All right. That's not it. Why did I do that? Just tickled the canvas with this and I could tell it was wrong. Stupid paint. It's paint's fault, not mine. Responsible. Mature. I'm glad, Laura. Rafal, is that Rafal? I see I jumped in the perfect moment. There you go. We're coming up with, you know, I'm not a self-absorbed or anything like that. We're just coming up with essentially verbs, nouns to describe me, adjectives. Educated would be one. Inherently correct. It's two, but you can say what's this? I'm not distracted. I have. What else? Our fall, we are correcting, not that it needed correcting, but I just figured I would mess it up to show you how to correct things, which I did purposefully without saying anything to anybody yesterday. And the last couple times I painted this. I am fixing what needs to be fixed, in short. Alright? Including Laura and Quellar's misconceptions of reality in regards to my greatness. Notice the fluidity of hand. I think you're going to like the new edition. Say what I'm going to say in a little bit because I'm going to... Greetings, Tagin. How are you, my dear virus? How are you doing? Are we good this day? Tagin. Ah. We're starting to put, well, fix some proportions, Tagin. We went widened. A little bit. Needed to widen it a little bit. In fact, let me, I see something else that needs to change. Let me go back into this color value right here. Oh, I see what I can do. I'm going to play off a warmer orange transitional midtone with the cooler transitional midtone in this area here. Right there. Let's lighten that up some though. Let's try that. I have a plan. Nobody panic. I have a plan. I always have a plan. Yesterday we talked about having a plan and a way out. You know, when you're painting, you always want to have a way to undo what you've done if it's a mistake, which I have a plan for that, but I never make mistakes, so I've never had to use one. No, I'm going to actually darken this. Warm it up with some Indian red. There it is. The shadow value in. Kind of works, kind of not. Izzy, what's happening? What's happening, Izzy? What's she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing? All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. This area needed more light, right? Because it's too thin. So I worked the transitional values here. I made this cool. I made this warm to play off the cool. I might have to adjust this, namely make this probably a little bit lighter once I bring the light into it some. So I'm going to take essentially my brush that's in this range right here. And I'm going to choose not to use that because that's the wrong one. Let's go into this brush right here, which is about right here, which I cooled off. Let me get a new paper towel. Z. Some new faces around here. Yeah. Q. Q is like, remember from Star Trek, Qualdar? Q? All right. Here we go. Let's start with this base value here. I need to thicken I want it kind of cool too. Like this area, normally I like it being a little bit cooler just because that's what I see in there. With one brush stroke. Just bring it out some. It fades into it just a little bit. Boom shakalaka now. All those transitions kind of morphed into good looking transitions. Okay. I feel like working on that nose. I hate that thing. Okay. Let's go up in the forehead just a little bit and work. So I'm taking a little bit darker brush. Let's go around here. So we get the value, then the color. And then we kind of scoop it up onto the brush. Step back, drawing comes in, we squint. And then we're going to bring this value up just a little bit here. And we're shaping, I'm also bringing the eyebrows over, that one over just a little bit, I think. And then step back, reload the brush so that it does not get muddy here. And then we're going to go through and I see that there's a transitional value there, and then this value should be here. I'm going to flip it to the clean side of the brush and go here. There. Step back, and that's looking a little bit better. We can work that. Also, what I see is that I could use this same value and go here to this side of it and kind of bring this down. But that's a very thin stroke. I'm going to be very subtle with that. Fade it down into it. It's kind of cool. I like that. I need to work the edge of the nose out some though. There's new sheriff in town. Law don't go around here, law dog. Remember that from Tombstone, Qualdar? Omnipotent being, the portrait. Oh, that's another good one. I like that one. I like that one too. Thank you, Qualdar. I really appreciate that. Portrait of that woman looks good. Q. Thanks, Jinshin, but I'm very upset with it. We kind of went over this already. The conclusion is I need to practice my drawing skills more. The expectations are very high at the beginning, but once you're done, you know you fucked up. Yeah, it was the center resolution. Everything was wrong. You'll get it. You got it. You got it, man. See the neck? Yeah, y'all can see the neck. Okay. I'm actually, I'm going to go down the neck. I know it seems like I'm working all around, and because I am. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Relate everything to the other. And that way you're going to have a very unified, badass, and sexy painting. All right, so this kind of